everybody listening to this is that you could be doing so much more. Today I woke up early. I go for a 5-hour run uphill both ways, nigga. And I'm thinking to myself, like, look at these people going to work to make their piece of shit paychecks. Not one of them thinks outside of the box. But how do you think outside of the box if that's not your style? Who are the types of people that even think outside of the box in the first place? These people are under a lot of pressure, right? That's why their head pops out of the box. So if you're ever wondering in life, holy shit, I'm doing everything I can, nigga, do more. And stop complaining when you're doing shit, okay? You can always do more. In fact, you should see breaking points as days off. Like when you break, you're that tired that it has to happen. That's a real day off. These scheduled day offs is like, first of all, why does the study end in a normal human's life when they're 21? And it's funny because up until 21, everything they studied is fucking useless. Right? Like if you ask someone, hey, what did you learn off the internet versus school? You know, as stupid as the internet is, you get a lot more out of it. Have you ever rabbit holed a certain topic, right? And you just go down at one topic and you look at 5 of the most popular channels on that topic and you learn a lot about that topic really quickly and you never stop and ask yourself, wait a minute, if interest made me an expert in this one topic from, you know, just making these 5 channels more abstract, more for the simple minded. If it's that easy for interest to make you good at something, imagine being interested in the things that further your career instead of being interested in going to school. Or I get messages from people asking me about college, like, bro, do you think this channel will ever talk about college? Are you serious right now? There's some of you guys thinking that I'm here to talk to you about college? College? Isn't that like the land of the losers, college? Like imagine growing up and thinking your education is going to come from the mainstream. Is there anything more mainstream than what the elites try and force on you? I have a serious problem with people that think their life study is going to be something in the mainstream. You know, you don't have one weird study you're into that you know can benefit the whole world, but no one's willing to pull it up and bring it to the mainstream. You don't have nothing. Well, then, you know, on paper, that makes you a piece of shit human being. You are a piece of shit human. You don't have one. I know a guy who researches cancer because someone in his family had it. And he's obsessed with debunking mainstream lies about it. He doesn't get that many views or none of that, but his dedication is pure consciousness soul. You can see the flame. It's awesome seeing this dude. It's like, that is a human being to me. That his personal life became global. Do you understand what I'm saying? That his personal problem, he needs the whole world healed because that problem is tearing him up inside. It's destroying him. It's destroying his family, and it's not even that big yet. But do you see how there's no mainstream interest there? It's not like he woke up, someone told him, hey, this is what's popular as cancer research or this, that. No. This man pulled something out of the middle of his thinking. Not his thinking upward, not his limb system thinking, in the middle, right from the heart. He said, this is what I'm maximizing. Which would be, imagine if the whole world thought like these people, where they say, I'm bringing this to the tribe. And I mean, dude, now with the internet, the whole world is very connected. You can easily bring something to town square. I'm doing it right now. Any human can bring something good to town square for people who need it. But all we get is gay-ass Joe Rogan conversations, which, by the way, if you listen to podcasts for comfort and not knowing, not knowledge, you're listening to podcasts for comfort. And this would all hit harder if I wasn't rushing, but I only want to do 2 hours today, just to remind everyone, you guys are all faggots. Every single person here has some podcast they're preoccupied with, where it's like, dude, you've watched years and years of podcasts. You haven't made one note in a notebook about those podcasts, meaning you're not even listening. You're probably in a fucking trance state, drifting off into fucking la la land. I know successful people who drift. I know losers who drift. And they're both faggots. Like, they're drifters. There's no continuity to their incarnation. There's no, you can open up a Zherka channel talking about anything. It'll always loop back to what Zherka's mission is. I'm not even talking about this incarnation. I'm talking about all of them combined. There's a theme here. And you want to listen to fucking Joe Rogan talk about whatever the fuck. I'm telling you, like, I can see loser in your guys' profile pictures. Like, I just open it and I go, there's no fucking way these people are hand selecting their feeds. You know, that's what the like and dislike button are there for. It's not to be a nice or a bad person. It's so your feed looks like the mind you're trying to build, right? You're supposed to play with it. It's very scary because you can like someone just out of sympathy. Like, yeah, here's a like, you little fucking faggot. You like their shit, and then boom, it starts promoting you all that slop from that side. And you're like, I don't want this. I was just trying to be nice. Bro, forget about being nice until your feed is correct. Okay? A lot of people think there's massive, massive knowledge and downloads they can do in life that will benefit them. You have never learned something in your life and benefited off of it. That's not how this works. It's always you're deleting something. It's something, maybe external, forced you to delete a style of thinking, a habitual pattern, a mechanical thought. Do you understand? Mechanical thoughts are what are insects. Insects are mechanical thoughts. You don't need those bugs in your fucking head. Zherka, how often am I deleting shit from my phone, my mind, my routine? Like, how often? Is it 1 week? Is it 2 weeks? Dude, this is like the superficial version of your moral practice of polishing your heart until you die. It should be a conversation with yourself every day. You shouldn't have to wait for these Twitter to spark up so I can feel something. No, you should be talking to yourself, but never listening to yourself. You don't need to listen to all that negative shit, man. And it's about delete, delete, delete. The only thing that should be within you to your core is things you brought from childhood, teenhood, young adulthood that is mega important. Some of these are not important to what you're trying to do in a let's say they're not, in a logical sense, they don't fit in to what you're trying to do, but they inspire. That's totally fine, right? Because when we're looking at equanimity and staying in the middle of yourself, when we're looking at true equanimity, it's always neutral, and it could swing positive, right? You could glow with positivity. A lot of people think positive is like immediately comes with a negative. No, you can master staying in the middle, being neutral, right? A lot of people who are too positive, they go up and down, they fuck their whole lives up like that because they start identifying. There's people who smoke a pipe and actually believe that they are a pipe. That's how long they've been smoking. They don't feel right until they light up that pipe. These people are sick in the head. There's people who play video games and their PlayStation so much that they identify with the PlayStation, and now they're not even in the room anymore. And this is like a teaching that's not supposed to be for the masses, but you will stop paying attention to your own nose, and that's you drifting and identifying with a different part of reality that doesn't involve the observer. Anything that doesn't involve your third eye is fucked up and dangerous, dude. It could soak up a lot of your time. It is dangerous. You should always, every minute of your life, be battling to be an observer of your life. Even if that means being a lot slower. That's a total win. A lot of people think answering a question fast because your buddy asked something is super important. No, it's not. It's observing. Are you even present when he asks you a question? Or are you answering on impulse? And if you're answering on impulse, what else can he get you to do? How much time can this guy eat up? Right? And here's the interesting thing about consciousness is once you start seeing these things as flames, you can light other people up in the room. You can be magnetic in the room because everyone wants their eyes back awake. It might have been 8 hours since a working man was actually awake. He keeps falling asleep and he does not know why. There's never been a master in history that taught men this rule. This is something that the only people who go to the mountains realize this rule. But in polite society and in the big city life, you tell someone, hey, can you even see your own nose when you're talking? They'd be like, damn, no, I was unconscious. Okay, well, how much of your life have you spent unconscious? And why was the most important things you've ever done in your life under real consciousness? When really good things happen to you in life, you will notice yourself. It's almost like a backward kind of feeling where you're falling back into yourself and you're observing that something good is happening. It's not just something good happening. You're observing, why me? Why now? This is perfect timing. This is awesome. This is synchronicity. And you try and go to that dreamy state. No. Stay as the observer. It doesn't matter the empires, the money you make. Actually, most businessmen who are very successful, if you felt their heart rate for the last 30 years of their life, you would say that guy is a fucking faggot. His heart has been beating from his chest in anxiety. I gotta do this to keep my business on top. 30 years goes by and he's in a mechanical system that's working for him. That's why he's making this kind of money. But 30 years go by and he had sweaty palms, fast heart rate, no women, no magnetism, just money, just money, and doesn't realize, whoa, 30 years went by. I was unconscious. I was unhappy. But the system that I downloaded and programmed my brain with, it made a lot of money. I am a success story. No, you're a fat dude in a tie in an office. That's what you are. What the fuck is that? Versus someone who breathes well, someone who breathes into their balls and can go to sleep at will. They don't have to stay up wondering what the hell. Wonder is a bad word because wonder is a beautiful word. Wonder is a beautiful word that people need to start using again, but that's not wonder. Staying up all night. First of all, 30 years of your life went by because you were afraid, right? You downloaded a system that made you money. You were terrified. You were terrified of what happens. Did you get the chicks you wanted? Did you get any of the lifestyle you wanted when you did this? Where's the true and where's the beauty? Because, we're looking for spirit in everything we do. Oh, there's no true and nothing true and no beauty in your life, just money. But dude, money can make things beautiful. Oh, right, you were carrying the burden of having to make the money. Oh, you were not lucky. It was not just given to you, but if it was given to you, you'd be those rich kids who get no respect at a party because they have no drive, no hunger, no instinct morphing into intuitive energy, nothing going upwards in their nervous system. It's just fear. And you ask any boy, young man, whatever, hey, who do you want to be in your tribe? They'd be like, I want to be the hunter. Oh, what characteristics does the hunter have? The hunter is he's not afraid, and all the women like him, and yeah, he's that guy. Huh. Well, why didn't you say the richest guy in the village? Why don't you want to be that guy like DJ Khaled or? And a young man will say, no, I don't want that. Right? That's why most movies, have you noticed most movies you watch are about some broke dude who is that guy, right? And he wins over the lady, and he's battling it out with some rich dude who's just like spoiled to death. This is like a huge archetypal theme for many. It's like the relatable theme, but it's relatable. Forget the relatable part. Let's look at the dream oriented part. Why does this orient us in a way where we go, oh, I love that storyline, right? Maybe like Peter Parker and Spider-Man. I don't know what I'm thinking, but you know it when you see it. Everyone's seen it. And every guy identifies with it. They go, man, I'd rather be the main character than the rich guy in the movie or the whatever, the bad guy or this. But what they're really saying is these inner things you build, courage, respect, things that you can't buy, right? These are earned. These are things you build and then you have to hold. And it doesn't matter how many hours, it could be hundreds, could be, what are we talking about? Years of hours, all built up into a system of thought of a character you are building on Earth, but you're actually remembering with new abilities this time, self-remembering. And it's like, dude, we all want the same thing. Why are we pretending we want these? What do they try and get us to? They try and get us to talk about, running a casino like Andrew Tate or these guys, right? They try and get us into that, and it's like, nobody gives a fuck about that, bro. Nobody gives a shit. It's an illusion, bro. Now, that doesn't mean you should be a broke fucking joke, because let me tell you this, man. If you incarnated any time in history, where would it be the easiest to make money? Every human on Earth throughout all history would say, whoa, 2025 is easy money. All you have to do is trade it for time. Right? Like anyone can do it. There's not one human on Earth in today's day and age that can sit down and say, I don't know how to make fast cash and a lot of it. Cash that I could just burn, do stupid shit with, and then get more. Every person's first thought would be like, oh, I don't want to put that time into that. I don't want to force the energy like that. I'm too lazy to do that, blah, 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 blah. But there's not one human who says, no, this is a hard time to make money. There's a lot of people who will complain about rent being too high and cost of houses and all that. And it's like, bro, that's fine. I'm not attacking you guys at all. I'm just saying, on the other side of the coin, bro, you're a lazy fucking faggot. Right? Two things can be true at the same time, right? The system could be corrupt, and you are corrupt as fuck. Actually, the system looks like an angel compared to you and how much time you have wasted. A lot of people don't understand that it's like, I'm not doing that grind, channel advice. You know that you see that those crypto people on Twitter who do that? Fuck no. I'm not doing that. I'm saying never complain about the spot you're in. We look at the energy level and energy systems that you do not put forward, and you'll be embarrassed. You'll be ashamed. You know, even if you're doing a shit ton of things, you'll always feel ashamed that there's others who just manage it better. And why? Because they put more thought into it. It means more energy. It means more love, more consciousness into it. I want to get some questions going because I'm only here for 2 hours, guys. But just want to do a community meetup and keep drilling in your head that you're nothing. You're a faggot. You're a joke. You need to hear this, okay? This is important. You're a faggot and you're a joke. You need to wake up from this idea of shit's happening to me. No, nothing's happening to you, bro. Nothing. You're boring me. Okay, what do we got? Man, it's a new perspective. But some people are convinced that I know the people that I let on here to talk. No, I put random people every call. Every call for the last however long I've been doing this, it's always new people. I don't know why people think it's, Zherka, you're endorsing this person who's speaking. I don't know who the fuck these people are. I just yank in random people and see where everyone's at. E-man, speak, you fucking faggot.
Yo, nah, I was dozing off. I didn't know I was up here. Yo, what's up? What y'all talking about?
Okay, are you black?
Yeah.
Yeah, you sound black with your sleepiness, like you can't get your life together.
Hey, man, it is what it is, bro.
Yeah, you just come in here and say, what the fuck are we talking about? I don't know what the fuck's going on because I'm black.
I mean,
Is that what's going on? Is you're confused?
Yeah, pretty much. I can't lie to y'all.
How long have you been black for?
Actually, as a baby, I was light skinned, but like, I've been black since like,
It's
I was
worse
like,
and worse. Light skin like Steph Curry?
yeah, pretty much. You
So
look
you're
at my
not
old, like,
even athletic, you're like the weak blacks.
no, but as I'm saying, as a baby, I was light skinned, but now I'm like black, pure black.
Okay, listen, man. I like the Goku thing, but I'm not trying to get robbed right now, okay?
Dang. All right.
See, guys, you have to be mean to these people. You know, the most rude thing you could say to someone is, what are we talking about? Or we don't have time for this shit, bro. Like, you need to wake up. Reality is bending and you're falling, lagging behind. What are we doing? It's like he's playing a video game, puts the controller down and goes, Yo, Zherka, what did you just say? I missed your whole speech. You missed my speech? How do you, you're blocked, bro. You have to get blocked. Without moral progression, you are so fucked. I'm telling you, it's such a subtle degree by degree you want to go up. And again, just like how you build a bank account in your life, just like how you build friendships and, you know, social media systems for your accounts and all that, ask yourself, all the superficial shit just went into the toilet right now. If all of that just jumped in the toilet, what would be left? Like you on an island alone, right? How would you write down, let's say you had some homework every night of how your life's going. You have 5 years left to live. You wouldn't really give a fuck about anything you're doing. You would go right into Steiner's work. You'd say, okay, you know, I might as well get started. All right, there's guys like me who have always thought they're not going to stick around till 40 even, right? We go even harder. But you guys who are probably going to make it to 72 years old, a lot of you guys who've never touched drugs, never damaged any of your systems in your bodies, which brings treasures. You know, going hard in life can bring early treasures, which means you die sooner. That is the trade-off that no one ever admits. No one wants to talk about because they're cowards. In every single esoteric community, the number one thing no one will ever talk about is that the guys who know what they're talking about are dying early. Everyone knows that. Everyone knows that. They don't know that stuff because they're high level. It's because they wanted it early. And it's mentioned many times. If you want this information early, you want your self-remembering process to be very early, it's dangerous. That word is used a lot, but no one actually knows what they mean by dangerous, because most of these masters are trying to get you away from breaking into schizophrenia or like losing your mind or all the big stuff. But there's long-term stuff too. Let's say everything goes right and you're very early on your path. Well, guess what? You're dying a lot sooner because you started your path way early. There's a trajectory you're supposed to maintain. That's why a lot of people who go into a bunch of these communities of mystery knowledge, mystery language, mythopoetic language, trying to find which ones align with what, which practices work, who are the people you can trust in history. Why does every esoteric channel not like Zherka? Why do they all dislike me? Because I only promote Steiner's work. I don't promote any of their garbage. And they go, well, that's unfair. There's so much more knowledge out there. There's so many other paths. There's so many other people, and there's not. If there were other people to point to on this path, they would bring exact thinking with their spirituality. But we don't see that. We see dreamy mysticism again and again. So people always point to the fact that mysticism is dangerous. So yeah, if you're not conscious, it's super dangerous. Right? Very dangerous, because there's been guys who are some of the most highest level mystics on earth. They quit all their ambitions in their whole life, everything, to get dragged along by evolution. So it's not like they became monks. It's not like they did any of monastic life, which is a closed path. Now it's not really how you're supposed to do things anymore. Like, believe it or not, this is going to shock you, but who is closer to the truth? A monk, a Christian monk in the mountains that prays all day? He's trying to, clean everything he's done in his past, make everything perfect in one incarnation. He's going balls to the wall. Or someone who has mastered Steiner's practices but has a wife and kids. And believe it or not, the question always comes down to who is generating more conscious love throughout the day. Right? So if the monk is generating, let's say, because he's in the mountains, it's a lot easier to do this without people bugging you. The monk will generate, let's say, 8 hours of love a day, versus the guy with the family and kids. Let's say he has 12 hours. Plus, when he sleeps better too, let's say, that guy would be shitting on the monk. This is super rare, though. You don't see guys with families ever go this far, right? But I'm saying that's what city life is. There are some of these anomaly type people out there that is really about that flame of consciousness, that love. It's who has that thing going out towards the world more. Now, the monk, another thing that he's fucking up on is he can't multiply that love because he's in the mountains. It's considered a selfish path nowadays, which is so interesting to say. Imagine Zherka saying that about a Christian monk. That just sounds wrong. Like, poor monk. This guy's doing everything perfect, and he is for himself. But I'm saying, if you want, let's look at like the highest level you could have. It's the guy who is changing the world, right? Consciously. That is the highest level we're looking at. So a lot of the highest level initiates and monks, they actually enter service to some greater system, right? They do something for the world. Now, that doesn't mean a monk on the mountains isn't like doing his part. Remember, he's doing the thinking part great, right? And his will is not, where are his deeds? He's in a fucking mountain, right? So his thinking and feeling is probably great and stuff. It's just the future is not going to look like. The future we're building towards is going to be surgeons who save lives, who have strong esoteric practices, and they're in a conscious etheric state of Christ-like love all throughout the day. And it's shocking that some people think that's impossible to do. Like, if you're listening to this, I doubt you guys have an hour of love a day. I don't think you guys, or look at JW, he needs a hug. Someone in his life needs to give him a hug. Like, he's generating all the wrong kind. It's just inward dryness. He's got all the deeds for himself and what he's trying to do, but the thinking and feeling are just erratic, right? And that's fine, because some of the most interesting people have erratic thinking and feeling. Some of the greatest artists who are suffering through their karmas, some of their best art is produced there. There's so many wins with that too. But when you look at what you're trying to do, it's, if you want to look at someone who has a perfect system, would be the person who has balanced his consciousness life with his thinking, reflecting, etc. And usually you see these guys as surgeons. Their prayer doesn't stop throughout the day. They just keep saving lives. These are the closest guys. And there's a lot of guys who are like, yo, talk to me about this Christian monk on a mountain. And I'm like, this is not like the fucking 1600s, bro. Like, we're in 2025. You better be doing something in materialism to uplift people. Like, you cannot be in a fucking mountain disappearing right now. And you guys gotta remember that we're out of the Kali Yuga, right? But this shaky start, before all the good happens, which is probably like 80 years from now, like all the really good stuff, is going to be really bumpy. Like the first thing, and all my these guys who say all my predictions are spot on, these are not my predictions. I'm quoting Steiner in my quote. You can just look into my Twitter if you don't see that. So stop saying they're my predictions. You'll know it's my prediction if it's like there's a high chance that I get it wrong. But if it's not my prediction, it's the truth. This is what's going to happen. And I'm telling you right now, we are going to slip in the next 10 years into much deeper layers of materialism. You're going to see church people go way harder, but let's be honest, they're going to be outnumbered by how decadent people are going to live with this AI, with this not leaving their house, Uber Eats, no life contact with anyone. It's your job as a soul on earth to push people into systems that get people around the right auras. If you ever want to bend what you're looking through the spectrum of light and see auras, I really recommend stay in a church and you'll know what I mean, right? Any kind of movement you start seeing in reality, right, is you slowly entering into this etheric, right, seeing it. Now, at the highest level, you'll be seeing it as just blue auras coming out of churches, going straight up. It's magnificent because that's the first time you'll realize thinking has an effect on reality, a major effect. That's why it feels different to step inside of a church than it feels to walk around the streets, right? It's a different in feeling, in tuning, in vibration, and everything is affected by that. So yeah, are they sinners in the church? I mean, all of them. Most priests nowadays are fucking up big time too, and you see a lot of Twitter guys who are, like me, I could be so much higher level if I just let go of social media, because it gets annoying. You get angry real quick. You want to say laugh my ass off every few seconds at some funny ass racist meme, and we're in that kind of dense materialism where you have to work with it and stuff. And also my age, right? I'm too young to be in this game. This game is for 65-year-olds, right? Those were guys who have like 40 years under their belt. And I'm way, way early, because if you think about my incarnation task, it has a big following with it. That means, my fire trials are going to be way more intense than the average guys, because anytime fame is linked to this kind of stuff, oh my God, it's all the minds that are listening to you fucking with your soul. And let's just say in like 10 years, I should not be on the internet at all. In 10 years, I should be completely scrubbed. Maybe I have one episode on a, documentary, Gaia TV or something to get more people awake. But really, really, I should be scrubbed off the internet and go into everything I'm supposed to do with no distractions, nothing enter. I can hold one thought for 30 minutes, but can I hold one thought for 30 minutes when I'm on Twitter? No human can. Not even if you bring back past masters could they do it when they start seeing how effective this mirror tool you hold all day, this phone, is in distracting and damaging and dispersing your soul. And by soul, I mean that's where thinking happens within the soul, so it can disperse those forces. Now, does this mean you have to, in a strange sense, yes, you do want to get more liberal when you are alone with yourself. You do not want to be veins in your neck like Zherka or JW, or you do not want this when you're morally progressing. It's impossible to morally progress when you want to kill someone, when you're angry, when you're, right? These states are going to fuck you up big time. That's why a lot of you guys don't realize you have a huge, huge advantage over me. Even though in 10 years, you won't even be able to do one podcast like me. You won't be able to push out any of the information because some of you guys are not remembering this stuff at all. Some of you guys are learning it for the first time, right? Or you've heard about it in a vague way, right? You'll know you're remembering it if you smile ear to ear saying, whoa, I don't have a big following. I don't have anyone who follows me. This is perfect for me. If you have no followers that follow you and you're, let's say, 20 years old and you're doing everything I say, within 10 years, not only are you going to think you guys are going to worship me. You're going to say, holy shit, did you get me started on this path? Don't worship me. Your job is to get other people. If you can get 1 million people to repost everything I post, and not that other community that took all of Dr. Robert Gilbert's work, right? I don't trust them. But if you can get 1 million people, just like how you guys make everything popular with Aiden Ross stuff, if you get me and what I talk about with the people I recommend to you guys, if you get that stuff popular, which is a tremendous task, that means you guys every day of your life, karmically, you guys will be reposting, you guys will be sharing, you guys will be pushing it out there like it's your karmic duty. How do you guys benefit from that? Well, when it's popular, you will have 8 Zherkas debating each other on podcasts to listen to so you can see which path is the best for you. And look, I'm not those people who preach only patience, because it is a fucking, let's be real, it's like a 10 to 20 year game for most people. So it is a patient game, but there are many fast tracks. Like, for example, imagine you reading these books versus going on my Twitter and listening to this space. You guys go, whoa, shit. This is a lot faster with Zherka. He's talking about Dragon Ball. He's talking about Goku. He's making it easier for me to understand. Then you go to the literature and you go, oh shit, this is like child's play. I can hear Zherka's voice. He's like a good teacher for guys at this age range, which is great, right? That as many souls as we can lift up, that's great. Now check this out. If you get it, maximize it if your only job is to push this kind of content, your goal isn't just to make Zherka's content popular. Because if I want to be popular, I'll bring some chicks, turn the camera on, and, get real views like that, right? Which we're going to have to do that eventually, right? But talk about what we want to talk about, obviously, and just red pill people, right? On a mission to red pill the world. But you got to remember, if you got it very popular, you would see high production channels making Rudolf Steiner videos. Now that's where you really learn. With pictures, with everything, that's where you actually learn way more than with me. And here's the thing, you search up streaming, you search up video game, you search up any genre, you have millions of YouTube videos of what you're trying to learn. But you look into this genre of initiation science and you have nothing. You just go look at any offshoot media, any alternative source. Go look at YouTube. It's garbage. And the scary part is the only people who are deeply in this, and they're doing a lot of strange things like the anthroposophy people who are like 65 years old, graying in the hair. And they're like, they shot me they shot me a message, said, "Oh, I saw your stuff on Twitter because you keep tagging the Steiner thing, so it's showing up on the feed, and that's how I found you." And so well, I don't want to say her age, but she's probably like 50 years old. She said, and I close my eyes in meditation. I've been doing this a while, and I stop and look at all the pretty things, everything that I see, and I'm like, okay. She's very far in her progression. She doesn't realize that she's not supposed to stop. She's supposed to go deeper in and keep penetrating through no matter how scary it gets. And I'm not going to tell an old woman, 50-year-old woman, this stuff, and she can do it in another lifetime or whatever. But it's scary that she's in a group with all these Facebook kind of old people, and they're trying to find their way to the threshold by themselves at 50 years old, 60 years old, some of them. And that's a scary thing, because it's like no one can help you there. It's kind of just like schizophrenia. No one's going to help you there. You want you want billions of views on this topic, because then you'll have 10 guys like me battling it out for what is the best system of how to approach it, and you are more safe. You are not safe promoting politics. That's actually karmically damaging you. You are not safe doing anything you're doing. You're only safe at making anthroposophy popular, so you can decide for yourself which is the best system to approach it. If you're convinced, oh, I just want to do Zherka's path, first of all, I'm not going to tell you about my private life, but just look at my outside life. Yeah, you can't even handle that. You think you're going to handle everything I've went through? Don't you want a better system to do it, like in ancient times when they'd have mystery schools that teach you with priests how to do this? Or are you going to wait till you guys break into schizophrenia because Fortnite's more popular? And it's like, you're going to see how big mystery schools are going to get. They're going to get so popular, but it's 80 years from now. The predictions are about 80 years from now, right? In 20 years, you're going to say a lot of, let's say in 10 years, you're going to say, well, a lot of what Zherka said is coming true, but I do wish it was more like 10 million people, not just, let's say 500,000. I wish it was, you're going to want more. Imagine there's Fortnite in your psyche dragging you down to hell. Right? You want to counterbalance that. You want this as popular as possible, not Zherka hanging out with women and all the stuff you're used to liking. You want this as popular as possible, so it's a better path for you. Doesn't mean it's easier, but it means you get way more spiritual buffs. You get way more power-ups as you go up. Or you're going to be terrified. You're going to say to yourself, wait a minute, throughout all of history, every single mystery center had a system of how to do this, how to actually fight the dragon and beat your mind and stay awake. When we sleep, we go fully conscious to sleep and do everything perfect in exact thinking with no error. But in 2025, how are people initiating? In the fucking Amazon, losing their fucking minds, jumping off buildings, killing themselves? And you got to remember, all of the problems you have, like, oh, these women are turning hoes, and all of that gets solved with this. If there's ever a truth pill to saving the world, it's Zherka's channel, but not the parts that are popular, like the women and the stuff. That's just to get the views, really, right? If we got the deeper stuff really popular, you guys would, I've had many people crying saying, holy shit, I thought you were just some fucking schizo, Zherka. This is immensely important to the world. And I don't want to be those guys who, in 80 years it's going to be very popular and I'll be remembered as one of the forerunners who brought it. But I don't want that. I would much rather see everyone every day, 10 posts a day, everyone who listens to me, try and make it as popular as possible. You get infinite wonder too, right? You get infinite wonder. That's what you want in the world. You don't want to look at politics all day like a fucking idiot with being depressed. You want more wonder in your world. You want these mysteries solved. And you're not going to, thinking that just Zherka is going to do it for you is not enough. You want 10 Zherkas out there. You don't want You know how everyone in politics just wants to be popular for themselves, so they attack every other political guy. They say, I don't like that guy, I don't like that guy, I don't like my teammate, I don't like, everyone just listen to me. I'm the opposite. I want 10 Zherkas. You guys leave me alone. Go, just disperse. Everyone go their own fucking way if you have to. Just put 10 Zherkas out there talking about 10 Zherka topics, and I will join you in chat. You guys will see me kick my feet up, and I'll watch the content myself, because that's how our day and age learns the fastest, right? Although we need some passionate speakers for sure, but I would love to have a break from leading the charge, because let me tell you this, man, it's overwhelming how much work has to get done. In maybe, we got 3 more years, you're going to see serious darkness. Like with Trump, the golden age, a lot of great things is going to happen, but you're about to see levels of despair that you're going to hate the political channels you follow. You're going to hate everyone you follow, because why? They didn't do anything for society, meaning you hate your world. You hate your own society. Now you get 10 Zherkas out there pushing everything I push. Now you finally get to go home and say, there's a part of the world that's changing right there. And that part does not fuck around. Does not fuck around like JW. Does not fuck around like Jay Dyer. Does not fuck around like everyone on earth fucking around with the finger in their ass. Have you noticed, you guys listen to my voice, you go, oh shit, he is speed running. This incarnation Zherka's going fast. Everyone else talks slow because they know they're gonna live till 80. They're doing this for entertainment, bro. These guys who just sit there on their YouTube channels and talk slow and Jesus is king, and they know they're gonna live till 80 with the same foggy consciousness. That's their game plan, and they're sucking you into that without you realizing. You're gonna be stuck in matter with these people thinking, where is God? No, dude, go to the passion, man. Go to the passion. There's, what is it? Many channels that talk about Christ all day. But they say stuff like Ezekiel's bread is about a bread recipe. Now, these people, I'm sure they mean well, and I know they get their rocks off calling me a Satanist, and you're evil, you're this, you're that. Zherka, you can't talk about Ezekiel's bread, it's just a recipe. These people, I know they mean well, so we cannot call these Christians demons, but are they not dragging us into the worst kind of materialism we've ever seen? You gotta ask yourself, where is the real church? Where is the tribe? Where are people dedicated to, if anything, if you're not dedicated to your fellow man, at least build the world that you're going to inherit again. Everyone instinctively knows here they're going to come back into the world. You're going to inherit a shittier world if you leave it shit. That's not how this shit goes. Humans get tired so they can go to sleep. They do not go to sleep because they get tired. They go to sleep. They get tired to go to sleep. Because you will die without going to the spiritual world. Every night you go there. You understand? You will die. That's why people 3 days no sleep get irritable. Sound like JW. You understand what I mean? Now, I get this question about death. Bro, first of all, you don't even know what's happening to you when you're asleep, let alone death. So shut the fuck up. Some of you guys are so out of touch, you think, is reality like a fucking dream? Dude, your whole day is made in the spiritual world when you're asleep. You wake up and live it. You don't know why. You do things, you just do them. Your will is asleep in your metabolic system. It just walks around like a fucking dumbass doing things. Then you get random feelings throughout the day that change you. These are like dreams, dreamy states. And thinking is the only thing you control. But none of you can hold a thought for 30 minutes. None of you can meditate. None of you can even let go of the thought. If I said, hold this one symbol in your head for 30 minutes and you got good at it for a few months, I'd say, okay, let go of the thought now. You wouldn't be able to. You'd be like, oh fuck. So even when you get it, you'll still fail. That's how phone brain destroyed the world, bro. You guys have your minds destroyed. You guys go on dates and don't know what's happening on the date. You don't know why she asked you that question. You don't know why you got nervous. You don't know what you're doing. You have a dragon called the mind, and it's dog walking you like a bitch. And I'll wrap it up like this, okay? If you do not make everything I push the biggest thing on Twitter, YouTube, whatever, friends, family, everyone has to go through it. Like, share. If you're not a part of this journey, well, you're not going to have that much information to go into the fog and face your demons, face the guardian of the threshold. And I don't want that for you. I want you to have as much information as the priest class did in ancient mystery centers. But it doesn't matter because you're going to forget in an hour. You are in a dream. You don't know you do not even know what you do. You're asleep and you can't stop sleeping.